Dear friends, why did a painful divine punishment descend upon both daughters-in-law of a pious farmer during the blessed month of Ramadan? What had they done during this sacred time that led to such a severe consequence? This story carries a lesson, especially for women, as it highlights mistakes that many unknowingly make. In a small village, there lived a poor farmer with 2 sons. Though he had little land, he toiled tirelessly, sowing seeds and reaping crops to sustain himself and his family. He was a God-fearing, kind-hearted, and righteous man who never missed his daily prayers. His wife had passed away, leaving him to raise his 2 sons alone. Despite his struggles, he always thanked Allah for whatever little he had. His small piece of land was a blessing, as it provided enough for him to live humbly. His 2 sons were intelligent, obedient, and devoted to their father. They helped him in the fields and shared a close bond with each other. As they grew into young men, the farmer decided it was time to get them married. When he discussed this with them, they left the decision in his hands. Delighted by their obedience, the farmer soon found suitable brides and arranged their marriages. The house was now filled with joy, and the farmer felt at peace, believing he had fulfilled his responsibility as a father. However, he was unaware that an unbearable sorrow awaited him. First, the daughters-in-law treated each other with kindness and friendship. However, they did not like the farmer. Every Thursday, he would cook food for charity and invite the entire village to eat. His hands were blessed, and his face glowed with piety. But his daughters-in-law mocked him, questioning why he wasted money on charity when their husbands worked so hard to earn it. The farmer, saddened by their words, gently replied, "My daughters, this act brings me immense happiness. When Allah's creation is pleased, so is He. Join me in feeding the poor, and you will feel the peace it brings." However, the elder daughter-in-law dismissed him harshly, saying, "I am not meant for such work. You can do it if you wish, but leave us out of it." The younger one followed her lead, and both ignored the farmer's advice. They even asked him to stop his charity work altogether, suggesting that he should practice his faith privately and not involve them. The farmer, stunned by their defiance, chose to remain silent for the sake of his son's happiness. He did not complain, as he wished to see his family united and at peace. But the daughters-in-law continued their disrespect. One day, while the farmer was preparing food for charity, they confronted him angrily. "Father, look at how much food you are giving away. These people are not even needy. They come from good households. Why do you insist on feeding them instead of considering our needs?" The farmer sighed and replied, "You do not understand, my child. True joy lies in serving others. This has been my lifelong practice, and I cannot abandon it now. Here, have a plate and taste this food. You will realize how special it is." But they stepped back in disgust, saying, "We will never eat this charity food. We are not beggars. Stop offering it to us." They stormed off, leaving the farmer deeply hurt. That evening, he decided to speak to his sons, hoping they would make their wives understand. When the farmer shared his concerns, his sons exchanged glances, uncertain about how to respond. "Father, if our wives do not like eating the charity food, why force them? Let them be." The farmer looked at them in disbelief. He had sacrificed his youth for them, raised them with love, and now they were supporting their wives' arrogance over his wisdom. He was devastated, but remained silent. As time passed, the daughters-in-law became even more disrespectful. They resented his morning reminders to pray and complained about his presence in the house. The farmer continued his charitable work despite their insults, until one Thursday, when the elder daughter-in-law finally snapped. As he extended a plate of food to her, she struck it from his hands, sending it tumbling to the ground. The farmer was shocked, his heart shattered. Tears welled in his eyes as he looked at the wasted food on the ground. The 2 women smirked and walked away, leaving him in sorrow. That day, he could barely complete his charitable distribution. his heart too heavy with grief. Instead of returning home, he wandered to his fields, seeking solace in prayer. Sitting beneath a tree, he let his tears flow, pouring his sorrow before Allah that night. He decided not to return home. A small hut stood on his land, and he chose to live there, devoting himself entirely to worship and charity. He prayed fervently, and the next morning, he awoke to find food waiting outside his hut. A stranger appeared and said, "This is a gift from Allah. Share it, as you always have." Overwhelmed with gratitude, the farmer wept with joy. Allah had accepted his service and provided for him miraculously. He continued his charitable work from his new home, waiting for his sons to visit, but they never came. They had abandoned him completely one day. While distributing food, two veiled women approached him, their voices trembling. "Baba Ji, we know that those who eat your food are granted healing. Please pray for us. We are suffering a terrible punishment." The farmer placed his hands upon their heads and asked, "What has happened to you, my daughters?" In response, the women lifted their veils. The farmer gasped in horror. Where once were human faces, now remained the snouts of dogs. Overcome with shock, he fell into prostration, glorifying Allah's power. "What happened to you? How did this come to be?" he asked, his voice quivering. One of them, sobbing, replied, "Baba Ji, we were arrogant, prideful, and disrespectful. We disobeyed you and mocked your piety. We scorned your charity and prevented our husbands from respecting you. But Allah saw our insolence and, during Ramadan, punished us. One night, we awoke to find our faces transformed into this. We were human, but our faces had turned into those of dogs. We have been suffering ever since." Tears filled the farmer's eyes as he listened. The same daughters-in-law who had insulted him were now cursed by divine wrath. Seeing their suffering, he forgave them and prayed for their redemption. May Allah have mercy on you. Seek his forgiveness sincerely, and perhaps he will grant you relief. This story serves as a powerful reminder. Arrogance, disrespect, and ingratitude can lead to destruction. May we always respect the elderly, honor acts of kindness, and remain humble before Allah. Pride and arrogance lead to downfall. Respect for elders and kindness towards others bring true blessings. May Allah protect us all from such punishments and guide us on the right path.